Hi everyone, this is Marion from E equals VS. I'm here today to explain to you about your secret code. Yes, a lot of people ask us, what is our secret code? In fact, if you've been to our website, you might have signed up to find about your secret code. You see, the secret is actually in the numbers. What numbers, you might ask? Well, it's the numbers that you chose to come on your birth date. You see, your soul and you chose to come and turn up at a certain date. Even if you were delivered by a cesarean or some other way, you chose to actually that date as your master numbers and your gifts to bring into the world. But what you mightn't have known is that the numbers that were missing in your birth date are what you are here to do on the earth when you're here. This is what you're here to master. You often hear people ask, well, what am I supposed to do here? What's my life task? Well, your life task is actually to master your missing numbers. So let me talk to you about the missing numbers. You might have received this information in an email and not understood what these numbers were all about. So someone recently, a woman named Karen, contacted me recently with her birth date. She was born on the 14th of April, 1985, and she wanted to know what her birth date is. Now, the numbers that we're talking about here are not numerological numbers. The numbers that I'm talking about come from the work of the Russian creator knowledge by Grigory Grabovoi. And they use numbers as a way of harmonizing things. So your special birth date is also the number to harmonize things for yourself. So let's have a look at Karen's number, and I'll then also be able to give you a little bit more information about what you are seeing on your screen. So Karen has two number ones, and this is about beginnings. So she's able to come up with ideas, and she will begin with her ideas, putting them into a flow. But she's actually missing a 2. So in the past, she may have been lazy around her ideas. She'd come up with all the great ideas, but never put them into action. So she needs to learn to put her ideas into action. Karen's also missing a 3, and 3 is about results, completion, and fulfillment. So Karen might have come up with the ideas and learnt to put her ideas into action, but she hasn't had the sustainability to travel down a path and get the results or completion or fulfillment of her ideas. You see, when you follow down a path and you actually get a result, I guess it's like giving you a little pat on the shoulder and look what you've done, well done. Any of you who have children know that children often don't get results. They'll start with one toy and say, oh, I'm sick of this, I'm bored, and start something else. So if you've got a child without the number 3, here's how you can help them. If you're doing a puzzle with them, say, now come on, let's get to the end of the puzzle and see what it looks like. Help them to complete things. So quite often the numbers that we have in our birth date that are missing, we often have life experiences that help us learn our missing numbers. Karen has 2 4s, and 4s are about your interconnection with the outside world. So she doesn't have any problems with connecting in her outside world. In fact, when I see a couple of 4s in a birth date, it also indicates to me that normally this person would take a role of leadership in environment where they might be a teacher or a trainer or an organizer of some description where they have a role of power, even if it's in a special skill that you have where you're orchestrating things in the outside world. But this person, when they have 4s, and she has 2 4s, indicates that they usually take a leadership role in that area. Now, if you're like me, I have a missing 4 in my birth date. So what would happen for me is that I would go into new situations, and until I felt safe, you wouldn't get to see all of me. In fact, if I went into a new social environment, I'd rather go and help in the kitchen before I actually found somebody that I felt safe enough to talk to. And then once I felt really comfortable, I'd let down my guard and you'd actually get to see the real me. So So how you master a 4 is that you are in harmony about bringing all of you into the outside world. And how do you become in harmony with yourself? You actually feel okay with yourself. You learn to fall in love with yourself. And I don't mean a romantic love. You learn to accept yourself on all levels. Now let's look at Karen's next number. She has a 5. And 5 is about the interconnection with the inner world. So she has a good connection with herself. She knows how to love herself. And that's not, as I said, the loving romantic love or looking in the mirror and saying, oh, you're beautiful. This is about loving also the parts of you that you would normally condemn. So not giving yourself a hard time, basically. And it's also about putting up healthy boundaries for others. So learning how to say no because it doesn't suit you. That's about developing that good connection with your inner world. And when you also have a good connection with your inner world, it helps to bring you into unity, that you feel very connected, you're following your intuition. So this is what happens when you have a 5 in your number. If you're missing a 5, then you need to learn to love all the areas of yourself and be able to put up healthy boundaries. Karen's also missing a 6, and this is the base of light. This is the foundation of knowledge. So people that are missing a 6 will tend to look to an external source, an external guru or a person in power as their source to ask for guidance. When you have the base of light, you realize that the information is inside of you. You don't need to look for someone outside of you. In fact, people that are missing a 6 often are the people that attend a lot of seminars. They're the course junkies who are always looking for the information. Well, how you master this is to realize that your soul actually contains all the information. Your soul has all the knowledge of the universe, and it is only waiting for you to connect. You know, some people think it's some great spiritual experience to have a connection with your soul, that angels are singing and then you hear this godly voice, and it's nothing like that at all. Your soul is actually quite funny and wants to communicate. All you have to do is engage it. But it holds all the knowledge like a large library or a large computer software. It has all the knowledge. All you have to do is tap into that. How you'll know you've mastered the 6 if you're missing it is the knowledge will come to you. You don't need to go and look for it. The next number that Karen's missing is a 7, and this is the power of love. So the power of love, if you have a 7 in your birth date, then you will only do things because you love to and you can see that there's a reason to. You won't do them because you have to, because you're told to, or you need the money. So people that are missing the 7 must learn how to put their love into what they do, even if it seems like a menial task, even if it's paperwork. You know, be the expert in the paperwork, or if it's figures, become an expert in that. Even if you're a toilet cleaner, love something about what you do. Make your toilets the cleanest toilets in the district. This is how you master the power of love. Now, Karen has an 8. An 8 is about timing. So when she comes up with the ideas and puts them into action, and she actually continues down a path for the results, her timing is always correct. Now, if you haven't got an 8 in your birth date, you might have the great ideas, you might do everything about putting it into action and traveling down a path to achieve the results, but your timing is off. So you've had to learn patience. Oh yes, I heard some of you say, oh my gosh, that terrible word, patience. You see, it's like starting a business in a recession. It's a great idea, and certainly everything looks good, but your timing has been off. So this is about learning to develop patience in your life. Karen has a 9 in her birth date. This is the number of the Creator. So she has a connection to the Creator, meaning that she believes that there is something that is guiding us and that's protecting us. You know, we call it Creator, but you could call it God or universal life energy or source energy or divine essence. We're talking about the same thing. This is about the connection. Now, if you haven't got a 9 in your birth date, and if you'll notice a lot of the children born after the year 2000 don't have a 9 in their birth date, And it's up to us, for the people that were born in the 1900s, to help to guide them, to then understand that there is a creator, that it is creating our existence. And it does help them to feel safe, that they don't feel like they're just all alone here on the planet. Karen also has a 0. That's the 0 before her month of birth, the digital number 04. So this is a transition number or a transformation number. Now, because the 0 appears before her month of birth and also after her date, or her actual day she was born, the 14th, this means that Karen transforms through her interactions in the outside world. So if you've got a lot of numbers in your birth date, a lot of zeros in your birth date, then you certainly do a lot of transforming. So wherever the 0 is, it affects the numbers on either side of that. So I hope this explains to you a lot about your special number, and understanding that your birth date is your special transformation number. It helps to guide you. It's your special number. So the numbers that are missing are here, what you're here to do and master. And quite often, as I said before, life experiences help you to master those numbers. If you haven't mastered them, now you've got the heads up and know exactly what you need to work on while you're here. While we're talking about numbers, in the Russian knowledge, we use numbers in restoring health and also for events. In fact, there are numbers for successful businesses. So every part of information that exists within our body, in our external environment, has a particular number sequence. And the number sequence that I'm showing you is for restoring health. This number is 8888488888. So lots of 8s in that one. And this number sequence holds the information of harmony, of restoring health for you. If you want to know how to use this number, it's quite easy. You can either write it in red, because red is about speeding up the result. Write it in red and on your body. And we have a little 1 centimetre vacuum around our body, that attracts the information of whatever number series that you have on you. Also, you can just simply write it on a piece of paper in red and keep it close to you, and then notice what changes in your environment. As I said, we use a lot about numbers in the Russian knowledge. And if you want to know a little bit more about Russian knowledge or a little bit more about numbers, then please come to our webpage, and you'll find down at the bottom of the page some number sequences for restoring health, some number sequences for events, for harmonizing events, and also some numbers for business. So if you want to understand a bit more about the power of numbers, this is just some of the things we do in Russian knowledge. So please visit us or come join us on a seminar if you would like. Thank you for taking this time, and I hope it gives you a little bit more understanding about your birthday and why you chose this day to turn up on the earth. Thanks, everyone. Bye.